Well, Gatoh Move Pro Wrestling continues with their more ChocoPro with their second day they had. Also, GCW had one of the recent events, Draft Day, which was really good. However, the main event, this one was not only a death match, but also for the GCW World title. And also, we're going to review WrestleMania Backlash. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't too fond of the name from the get-go. But, however, this is Deleted WrestleZone, so let's review, discuss, and talk about it on this episode of Deleted WrestleZone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted WrestleZone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay right here. So let's begin with the latest Gatoh Moves ChocoPro, which is 117. Now in this particular show, there's only 2 matches. Both of them tag team matches. I thought they were really fun to enjoy, especially my favorite tag team in ChocoPro, the Best Bros. But, however, let's go with the first match of that very first show. We have Chic Koishikawa teaming with Hagane Shinoi, taking on members of the Pencil Army, Lulu Pencil, and Emi Sakura. Now, both the Pencil Army are trying to get their act together after Chris Brooks walked out on them and he went on a little revenge spree on them. But it was a fun match. However, before the match started, Lulu and Emi had tried to hype themselves to get ready for this match because they know they have been on losing streaks before. It's no surprise to those who follow them. If you guys are new, if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, then you need to watch those videos. All you gotta do is go to YouTube, type Gatoh, which is Gatoh, Gatoh Move Pro Wrestling. Find the ChocoPro events, and you guys will see what I'm referring to. So, the match was pretty okay. There was a lot of aggressiveness coming from Shay, who is all energy, and of course her partner, if you guys don't know who he is Hagane Shinoi, who together they're known as the Egg Tarts. Don't ask me why they call themselves that. I've been trying to figure it out myself. But it was a really interesting match, high energy. But like always, at first I assumed right from the start that somehow the Pencil Army were going to take this victory, but no, it was Hagane who actually picked up the victory, making the pinfall for his team, which is a good thing. I know that the Pencil Army have been in a major funk in previous weeks, but they'll get back right at it. Now we get to the second match of that night. It was, in fact, we have Yukiko Kirihara and Yuna Mizumori, who right now, as they have been showing more aggressiveness because, as you know, the Best Bros are the best tag team in Gatoh Move's promotion, being the Asian Dream Tag Team Champions. Now, you probably ask, why is that? As you know, there's a rule. If you guys pin the Tag Team Champions, you automatically get a shot of the Asian Dream Tag Team titles. Every team has done it. Even members of the Pencil Army has done it too. But that was only with Emi Sakura and Minoru Fujita. But they were unsuccessful to obtain those titles. So this time, even, what's her name? Kirihara, she even tried to with Antonio Honda because he's been pursuing it. But no luck either. But this time, there was more aggressiveness. They even, both Kirihara and Mizumori were smart enough to try to separate both individuals away from each other as much as possible. So they tried separating May away from Balian, and the same thing they did with Balian. But in this one, no. Same thing with the intensity. I love the Best Bros with their intensity, how they coexist, how they function. And of course, as always, in the results, it was in fact Mei Shigura who picked up the victory. Even no matter how much the other two tried to pull up one on them, but they were still no match for the Best Bros. So, who will be the next contenders to take them on? Well, we just gotta wait and see. Okay, so we just got the latest GCW or Game Changer Wrestling event called Draft Day that took place this past Saturday around almost the same time as Impact. This one had a lot of interesting matches, only one title match in this one. So let's go from start to finish. First match of the evening, we had, of course, well, first they started out with the 10 bell salute because, as you all know, in the previous episode, I dedicated the episode to New Jack, who passed away. They did that 10 bell salute in his honor, and I thought it was a pretty amazing thing. If you guys ask yourselves why would GCW do that, he's a hardcore legend. Who wouldn't? These guys are hardcore wrestlers, and they do death matches too. I mean, you can ask anybody who's been in that promotion. So, first match of the evening, we have Jimmy Lloyd taking on Jack Cartwheel. Now, I never heard of Jack Cartwheel, but however, watching him kind of made me open up my eyes like, wow. And I heard this guy is 19 years old. He's very athletic. He does a lot of cartwheels, but the one thing that surprised me, well, two things. Well, one thing surprised me during the match when he took out Jimmy Lloyd outside of the ring and put him on top of a door, like flying with two chairs. He did a Sasuke special, landing right on top of him. I thought that was pretty dope. But what he also did is that finisher move that Pac calls it, the broken arrow. I don't know what Jack Cartwheel calls it, but it was pretty dope too. And he picked up his victory. But this was also a major upset, having Jimmy Lloyd lose to a guy like him. But it's the perfect thing. I mean, look, I starting to dig this guy Cartwheel. I mean, come on, he does cartwheels anyway. But I got to see more of this guy. Next match, we have Bad Dude Tito taking on Big Daddy Chris Dickinson. Now, you know Chris Dickinson's what he can do. I mentioned him on countless occasions on GCW and, of course, on New Japan. And you know for a fact he's going to win this match. And that's what he does. I mean, he is one of the best fighters I've ever watched in my life. Not only that, he was also recently involved in many promotions involving a little bit of the catch wrestling stuff. But yeah, but you know he's gonna win. But however, when he won the match, Bad Dude Tito took not too kindly with the losing with him. So we'll see what happens down the line. I don't know if there'll be a rematch coming up from that. Next match, this is a very cool match and a very good one. Jordan Oliver, who I mentioned in MLW stuff, facing off legendary wrestler from both in Mexico and in Japan. I'm talking about Ricky Marvin. I've been a big fan of Ricky Marvin when I first saw him. Not only that, Ricky Marvin has been wrestling for a long time. Even his brother's involved. Ricky Marvin has participated in matches mostly with Pro Wrestling Noah. Come on, this is a perfect opportunity for Jordan Oliver to face a legend like him. And I have to say, it was a pretty good match. I loved it. Everything that Marvin tried to do, Jordan Oliver tried to counter. Same thing as any other. But however, it's of course the newer generation that takes the victory on this one, and it was Jordan Oliver who pulled it off. I didn't expect that he would, but I say that right now that Jordan Oliver is one of the rising stars in pro wrestling. Even my buddy Nico says the same thing. Even when he watched MLW, he said he should step away from Injustice and be a much bigger star as a singles competitor or a solo competitor, however he wants to call it. But yeah, I mean, that's what I understand. Not only that, he had a great match with Fatu. Now the next match is Starboy Charlie taking on Lio Rush. Oh man, this match was very cruiserweight, high intensity stuff. I did not expect a whole lot. I didn't know who Starboy Charlie is, but watching him, oh my god, he's almost like in a similar level as Lio Rush. I mean, I asked myself, where the hell has I been? But what a great match. But however, is of course Lio Rush that won this one. Excuse me. Next match, we had a 6-man tag team match. This one was first team. We got Eli Everfly teaming with the Unguided, consistent of Damian Drake and Matt Vandegrift, taking on Second Gear Crew, consistent of Matthew Justice, one called Manders, and of course Mance Warner. Oh man, I haven't seen Mance Warner who knows how long, but man, it was a really fun match. They even pulled out all the stops with the toys, and of course they took the fight outside, and cameras were having a hard time trying to catch up with the action. I thought it was like very interesting. It's like they're telling, hey guys, we're gonna take this outside, let's. And I see Mance Warner with Everfly on his arm like this, and he just whacks him in the head. But I thought it was a fun match. But however, I look at this match more like the Second Gear Crew was in fact the fan favorite to win the match. And of course, it was them, all thanks to Give Me a Light Beer, Mance Warner, who pulled off the victory for his team. Next match, we have Juicy Funao taking on Shulk. Oh my god. One thing I know for a fact, Juicy has tried every aspect in GCW. He pulled up great matches, but there are times he has a hard time trying to pull up good victories. But Shulk, he's a beast. That's a guy, you know he's gonna tear you apart. That's what I see in this guy. You know what I mean? So that's what I see. But I have to say, Juicy Funao did an amazing job, try to hold on his own, but in the end, he was still no match to him. Next match we have is Effy taking on Dark Chic. This was an intergender match, one of the most interesting matches, but however, I saw many fans were more, how do I say, in favor of Dark Chic, mostly. And I asked myself, why? I don't even know who Dark Chic is, but she seems interesting. And I feel as a fan, I need to know who she is more. I need to find more videos to determine who she is. But do I believe Effy was going to win? Yes, because he's one of those top wrestlers in GCW. Even my friend Nico actually met him once. I think he did. But he's also one of the fan favorites. But people booed him for the way he won the match. He put him in an inside cradle or something. That the match, fans felt it should have gone to Dark Chic, and they were chanting rematch. Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing too, but it is what it is. Now the next match is another intergender match. We have Alley Catch, who formerly known as Alley Cat, is facing off I'm a bad boy, Joey Janella, taking on. It was another fun match in my opinion, because you know Joey Janela, you probably ask yourselves right now, those who are watching this, but isn't it Joey Janela with AEW? Yes, but he has a special relations with GCW, and not only that, many of the wrestlers in AEW have participated with GCW in the past. So why wouldn't they? You probably say, dude, they have a partnership. Dude, I'm like, dude, GCW has a much wider range, but that's another conversation for another time. Trust me, guys. But the match was great. I mean, both individuals, I was practically biased. But however, you can guess right away. But there was a moment that maybe there was a botch where Ali got hurt, and Joey Janela made sure, let's just end it right now, and he won the match. I think that's the right thing to do, because you cannot continue. If you're hurt, you can't continue while you're hurt. You have to end it sooner or later. And I think they played it a smart move on that. Now, let's get to the main event, which was for the GCW World Championship in a death match between challenger AJ Gray and, of course, the King, MDK, Nick Gage. Now, this match was set up in Ashes to Ashes when Nick Gage was in a match. He was attacked by AJ Gray. I still haven't seen that video, but I will see it soon enough. But however, you probably ask yourselves, why is this match important? AJ Gray was screwed by the previous champion, Nick Gage's predecessor and longtime rival, Ricky Shane Page, leader of 440, who we can say bye. So the idea was AJ Gray was screwed many times over by RSP, or should I say Ricky Shane Page. And now he's feeling, I need to take my shot now, and that's exactly what he did when he attacked Nick Gage. The match was unbelievably crazy, a lot hardcore, but if you guys want to know, the referee of that match was my good friend Chad Rico, who's a local referee here in San Diego, who I've seen him with Level Up, Ground Zero. Recently, he's done many GCW events, and of course, he did New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'm very proud of the guy. So, Rico, if you're watching this, I'm proud of you, bro. But however, the match was so intense, but in a way, I felt this match went exactly how it's supposed to end, with Nick Gage winning. Now, you probably ask me, why? There's something you guys don't know, and I haven't reviewed these shows from the WrestleMania week. I'm talking about the Collective Bundle. I've been having a hard time trying to get to them, but I'm going to do those as soon as possible. Now, in the Collective Bundle, it was the Joey Janela Spring Break, but later became the R Spring Break. The main event was, of course, RSP versus Nick Gage. Nick Gage regained the title. He beat RSP, but however, he received an unexpected guest, and that guest was none other than Jon Moxley. He showed up and he attacked him, and this time, post-match, in Draft Day, he did the same thing again. And my God, they continued the brawl. Now, you probably ask yourselves, why would he attack Nick Gage? There's something else I did not know about this. It turns out that Nick Gage and Jon Moxley have a bit of a history in the promotion Combat Zone Wrestling, or as we call it, CZW. So I haven't seen that video, but I would say this is going to be an excellent rivalry between both Gage and, of course, Moxley. But however, there is an interview that Nick Gage put out with Chris Van Vliet. It's already out on YouTube. You take a look at it. Moxley gave high praises about Nick Gage, how he has the best storytelling. There's things about him that you'd be surprised. And not only that, he also has a documentary that was done by Dark Side of the Ring, so you guys should check that out. So that's pretty much it I got for GCW. I can't wait to see for more. But let's move on with the last thing I wanted to review, which is WrestleMania Backlash. Alright, the last thing I would talk about is WrestleMania Backlash. Now, before I proceed, I want to be frank with all of you. I wasn't too thrilled with the idea of calling this event WrestleMania Backlash. Now, I think it's stupid in my own opinion. I don't know how you guys would feel, but this is just me being honest with the WWE fan base who watched this episode, who are watching my channel. I'm being honest with you guys. Now, if you guys think I'm wrong, you guys have a right to have an opinion. But that's how it is. But I also want to tell you guys, I wasn't too pumped that very much watching this show, because I felt like, I don't know, there was a lot of things that I felt. I mean, don't get me wrong, the matches were good, but I didn't feel too much excitement for it. But anyway, let's just go from the beginning to end on this one, and we'll go from there. First match was for the Raw's Women's title. This one was a triple threat match between Charlotte Flair, Asuka, and of course the champion Rhea Ripley. Now, this match, I have to say, it's kind of like deja vu again in NXT. If you guys haven't forgotten, this one had these two, Flair and Ripley, in a triple threat, but this time it wasn't Asuka. It was with another fellow Japanese wrestler. I'm talking about Io Shirai. But the only difference, I ask, okay, Io Shirai is one of the best wrestlers I watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the real question is this the right time for the belt to be dropped or continue? Because look, we know as fans who watch NXT, we know when NXT stars get called up to the main roster, their careers intend to go down, and that's always been our concerns as fans. But I have to say, with Rhea Ripley pulling off the victory, putting the Riptide on Asuka was the best thing. I feel they should let her have the title for a little more longer than we should have. Maybe, hopefully till next year or so. I'm not sure, but that's just me talking. But I don't know how you guys would think about it. But yeah. Next match. This one is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships between both the Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode taking on the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic. Now, this was a huge deal. You ask yourselves, how many wrestlers you have seen compete for a tag team titles in wrestling? I know there's the Hawks family. I'm not sure if they ever won any tag team titles, but seeing Rey and Dominic kind of felt like it's just right because they're doing it in a much bigger platform. Now, I'm not saying that it was wrong. I'm just saying it's a smart move because it works. Earlier in the whole thing, the Ziggler and Roode attacked Dominic to get him out of the equation, but he showed up. He stick to his guns, and of course, it was Dominic who pulled off the frog splash to win the tag team titles, and I thought it was a great thing. Seeing father and son finally won. Now, the real question is, we can expect Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode get a rematch clause, but the next one is who will be the next contenders if the Mysterios retain the titles. Keep in mind. Now, the next match was, well, the Lumberjack match, but this one had a bit of a twist that I'm like, what the fudge? You know what I mean? Zombies as Lumberjacks? I'm like, how low is WWE gonna go? Look, I'm fond of the Lumberjacks, but zombies? For real? I wasn't too fond of that, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if you guys felt the same way. But the reason the zombies were there was to promote Army of the Dead, because as you know, WWE former star Dave Bautista is in the film. He did say that he cannot be there, but a couple of his friends were going to be there too. And apparently those friends were the zombies. But I don't know. But I can tell you anyway, it was Damian Priest who won. The zombies ate both Morrissey and Miz in this match. But like I said, I wasn't too fond of this. Next match we have is for the SmackDown Women's title, Bayley versus Bianca Belair. I have to say, Bianca came into the right timing to become champion, facing off a person who we all know right from the beginning. She was very lovable, and now she's a very much hater, going ding-dongs all the time. But it was a very interesting match. But to be honest with you, I felt they need to keep the belt strictly up to Bianca. I mean, look, I find her very interesting wrestler. She's very athletic. Not to mention, look, we can all agree she never won the NXT Women's title, but winning the Women's SmackDown title, that is huge. So I was happy that the match ended in her favor. So who will be the next contender? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people I can think of. Next match we have is for the WWE title in a triple threat match between Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. This one, like I said, I don't know if I was hyped a lot, because we know for a long time we have talked about this about Braun Strowman. He should have been champion. I have to say Drew McIntyre became a good champion, and Roman Reigns as well, but of course we cannot deny Bobby Lashley, my bad. Bobby Lashley, we know he has worked real hard to get to the top, but I think what I did like in this one is how Bobby Lashley played smart, and in the story-wise, showing that, okay, let Strowman and McIntyre take the advantage, and Bobby Lashley will sneak attack and take the victory. That kind of played out in its own way. Kind of let it continue him be almighty. But now, who will be the next contender to challenge him for the title? That's a very interesting question if you're a fan. Now, the main event is for the WWE Universal title between Cesaro and Roman Reigns. Really good match. Very hard hitting. I became a fan of Cesaro recently. But of course, this one was a clean fight. There was no interference from neither the Jimmy or Jey Uso involved. But the match stopped in a referee's decision. Of course, Jey Uso tried to take him out. Then here comes Seth Rollins. Now, I don't know what he was planning. In the back of my mind, when I saw him, he was face to face with Roman. I was thinking, okay, he's going to challenge him for the title. But no, he decided to take his frustrations out on Cesaro because, probably in his back of his mind, he felt it should have been him, and now he has to bow down to as well. But I don't know if Cesaro got injured because there was moments in the match he was hurting his arm. I don't know if that's part of the storyline or it's for real. So that's pretty much it. So Roman Reigns retained the title, but who will be the lucky contender to challenge the head of the table? Well, I hope you guys enjoy watching this episode, me reviewing the latest ChocoPro event, GCW, and of course, WrestleMania Backlash. Like I said, I wasn't too fond with the name and certain things. But there'll be more to come right now. I got the AEW Elevation, but there was no other shows coming up. So I'll just add in the Japanese shows that I missed. And of course, possibly the other GCW event before draft day, Ashes to Ashes. We'll see what happens from there. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.